Welcome back everybody to my Road to Glory series. This time we'll be doing our entire sophomore year, and after growing to 6 foot in the summer, we're going up against Wake Forest to start our year. The first 3 quarters for us were pretty unsuccessful. We were down 6-17, but we ended up scoring a touchdown early in the 4th quarter and getting the 2-point conversion to bring it to within 3 with a chance to steal a win. We would ultimately end up losing 14-24, but luckily our next game would help us get back into the swing of things against the FCS Northwest Sharks. We would get the first possession of the game, and we would ultimately end up scoring on my signature deep ball for a touchdown to take a 7-0 lead. We would end up scoring again for another touchdown to take a 14-0 lead, as we could possibly be going into blowout territory. It was 20-6 halfway through the second quarter, and can I get a deep ball for another touchdown, as now we looked like we could be heading into blowout territory. A third of the way through the third quarter, it seems like this season's going to be filled with a lot of deep touchdowns as we score another touchdown to take a 34-6 lead. And if it wasn't a blowout already, it certainly is now, with another deep touchdown. I would be subbed out in the 4th quarter, and we'd end up winning this game in blowout fashion, 51-16, as we move on to 1-1. I would end up passing up a jiu-jitsu NIL offer because I thought that +5 stiff arm was just not really all that worth it for me, for the 2 energy up front. But after a few bye weeks, we're going to end up playing the UMass Minutemen to see if we can jump up to 2-1. It would take all the way to the start of the second quarter for us to score a touchdown, but luckily we scored a field goal before then, and so now we're up 10-0 early in the second quarter. With 5 minutes left in the second quarter and us up 13-0, I throw not just a deep ball, but my longest play in terms of yardage, 85 yards for a touchdown to take a 20-0 lead. Honestly, these deep touchdowns have gotten a little bit annoying, but you know what, I'll take them. Even though the game was ultimately locked up at this point, we decided to score another touchdown with 30 seconds left. So we would end up winning this game 37-10 to move to 2-1. The next game would be against the Nevada Wolfpack, where it would take all the way to the second quarter, early in the second quarter, to score a touchdown to take a 7-0 lead. Nevada would end up scoring a touchdown, but with about 4 minutes left in the second quarter, we would score another touchdown to take a 14-7 lead. With less than 1 minute left in the first half, after Nevada scored a touchdown, we would end up going deep for a touchdown to take a 21-14 lead before the end of the half. And since Nevada won't stop scoring touchdowns, I guess we just have to do another deep ball to take a 28-21 lead. With a 28-28 tie early in the 4th quarter, on a 3rd and 2, we will rush it in for a touchdown. As this game has already become a shootout, we'll just take another touchdown with 5 minutes left in the game to take a 42-35 lead. This game would end up going to overtime after a missed field goal for us to take the win, but we'll score a touchdown, and then Nevada would get the ball. They'd score a touchdown but would miss the extra point, and so that's a dub for us. After winning Conference USA Player of the Week, we'd end up facing the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers to see if we can get and continue our win streak. After trading field goals in the first quarter, we ended up scoring the first touchdown early in the second. We'd end up throwing a contested ball, but somehow a great catch by our wide receiver would end up getting the touchdown, so we would take a 14-point lead, 17-3. Middle of the way through the third quarter, we'd end up scoring a touchdown to take a 21-point lead as we are heading into blowout territory. As we were trying to run out the clock to end the game and get the dub, we'd end up scoring a touchdown. And even though Western Kentucky would score a touchdown, it would be too little too late as we won 31-10. After acing my finals, our next game would be against the UTEP Miners, where we would end up scoring first with a touchdown with about 9 minutes left in the first quarter to take a 7-0 lead. After getting 2 field goals and taking a 13-0 lead, with about 4 minutes left in the first half, we'd end up rushing all the way for a touchdown to take a 20-0 lead. Halftime would roll around and we'd have a 23-0 lead, but early in the third quarter, we'd end up scoring another touchdown to take it into blowout territory with a 30-0 lead. Another possession, another touchdown. What else do I have to say? We'd end up winning this game 47-3 after I rushed for a touchdown in the fourth quarter. And yeah, it was kind of a big W because we just kind of smacked them around. Our next game is against the FIU Panthers. We'd start off the game HOT hot with a touchdown to take a 7-0 lead, and then on the next possession we'd get another touchdown to take a 14-0 lead early in the game. FIU would end up scoring 10 straight, but with just after the 2-minute warning, we scored another touchdown. FIU would try to come back, but we put that to bed pretty quickly with a burnt corner and a touchdown, where we'd end up winning the game 31-17. Our next game was against the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders, where after being down 7-3, we'd take the lead with a touchdown, 10-7. With less than 2 minutes left in the first half, we'd score a touchdown to take a 17-10 lead. After Middle Tennessee tied up the game early in the third quarter, we would go deep for a touchdown to take a 24-17 lead, but then they just end up tying up the game again. So I guess we're lucky that we scored another touchdown, huh? As we go into shootout territory, we'll score another touchdown with less than 5 minutes left to go in the game to take a 38-31 lead. That was the final score of the game. Final score 38-31. We take another dub. Our next game is against the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. Another possession, another touchdown. I really should stop repeating myself now, shouldn't I? (14-3). 21-3. Don't call the Atlanta Falcons. It's 28-3. Don't worry. We're not gonna blow this. This is honestly just insult to injury at this point. After this week, we were officially put into the top 25 in college football. And who do we face after getting the top 25? Just the 2-7 New Mexico State Aggies. Barely got away from that defensive lineman right there. We actually get to use the option game here for a second. This is actually pretty awesome. This is the first time I actually tried it. $20-7, ain't no thing. We fit it into a tight window there to take a 27-14 lead. We'll get this touchdown, but fail the 2-point conversion. It's 33-14. $53-14 will be the final score, and we'll stay in the top 25 and win our first game in the top 25. Next game is against Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. They call me the Hot Route Master. Honestly, at this point, you could probably tell that I've like kind of lost energy, but yep, another touchdown. This is a pretty clutch touchdown here. We'll take a 3-point lead. That! And with this 38-24 victory, we have won 10 straight and are on the verge of making the college football playoff. Doesn't matter who wins this game. Either team will end up in the Conference USA Championship, but yep, here's Liberty. It would take until the second quarter for anyone to get on the board, but yeah, we'll take a 7-0 lead here. This was a great throw and catch to take back the lead at 14-7. With only seconds left in the first half as we were down 21-17, we would take another deep bomb for a touchdown to take the lead 24-21 before the half. Took a little bit for him to beat us, man, and the safety bit way too hard, so we'll take this touchdown to tie up the game. 31-31. Field goal, we take the dub, 41-38, and we'll just face them in the conference championship anyway. But now, if we win the conference championship, we could most likely head to the college football playoff. My stats up to this point are a major improvement over last year, and we only have more games to add on to it. Yoink! Critical 4th down conversion here to get the touchdown to ultimately end up being the final score of the game, and we would be Conference USA champions, and we'd later find out we made the college football playoff, and we would face Michigan in the first round. I ended up being 2nd team All-Conference USA, and later I would check the Kennesaw State records, and I would hold both the career passing yards and passing touchdown records. So really, I don't really need to accomplish anything more at Kennesaw State. Okay, I have something to confess here. I do tend to have a little bit of anger issues when it comes to things not going quite my way in college football 25. It happens in other games, but this year it happens quite a bit. During my freshman and sophomore year, I would have to replay games because I would end up rage quitting halfway through, and so some of my wins are a little bit disingenuous. And this is also the case right here. So what happened is that we actually were pretty close to winning, and then I threw an interception and we ended up losing. But the thing is, I rage quit before, I turned my Xbox off before the game ended, and so I didn't know what to do. So next time I ended up streaming, I didn't even stream. I just simmed that week, and then simmed the next, because we actually won against Michigan during the sim for whatever fucking reason. And I decided to enter the transfer portal, and even though I'd be a walk-on, I went to Ohio State, my dream college. And by week 3, I was the starter, where we were 1-1, and I guess that's where I'll have to end it off. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my junior year.